All right, so after you have gone through this and your notebook is all set up, you'll go to the next slide. And this slide actually has the steps that you'll go through on the simulation. And so you can read through these, but I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and actually go to the simulation so that you can see exactly what we want you to do. All right, because I think I've sort of already talked you through this. So when you click here, it's going to ask you to open the web page, and probably what is going to happen is you're going to get this little thing that pops up and says click to enable Adobe Flash Player. And so click there and it's going to pop up. I thought this was interesting that tells us Flash is no longer supported after December 2020, but we will click allow and up pops our little simulation. So I'll get that full screen for you. All right. So this is what the simulation looks like, and you can see right down here we have our little jackets, which are different colors, and this is wool, and then you click there and supposedly it's, now it's changed to nylon, which is a man-made fabric. Now they're suddenly magically denim. So I'll show you how this is going to work. I'll go back to the wool, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab and put this up there. And what it's done is those are thermometers. So it is putting little thermometers in the pocket of the 3 black ones. I don't want to change the material. I'm going to test all of the wool ones. Then I'll go back and test the nylon and then the denim. So I'll compare this to blue. All right. And again, there's the thermometers. And notice they're all starting out at 22 degrees Celsius, which is, we'll call that room temperature. It might be a little chillier than regular room temperature, but they're all starting out at the same temperature. And then we click the test button. Ta-da! And now you notice that we have some temperature readings here. All right, so here's what needs to happen next. All right, I want to show you a couple of things. Remember, you have made a data table on your notebook page. Turns out if you click right here where it says table/graph, you're going to see the same exact data table as the one that you drew. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because we're going to put some numbers in here in just a second, okay? All right, and I'll show you how that works. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to average together those 3 numbers that go with the 3 black jackets. I just want to average these 3 numbers together and write down the average in my data table. And I'll also have to put it in here in the computer simulation. So here's how we're going to do that. They've given you a calculator, okay? Now, if you've got a calculator at home, you can use that or on your computer, but I'm just going to use this one right here. And I'm going to remind you about how you get the average, all right, of these 3 numbers. So we need to add these 3 numbers together. So 31.1, you guys can watch and see if I mess up, plus 30.6, okay, plus another 30.6. Okay, equals, that's not my average. Now I take that number and I divide it by 3 because I have 3 numbers here. So divided by 3. All right, now you are not going to write 30.7666 whatever, okay? I suggest you just write 30.7, and since that is a 6, I might round that up to 30.8, and that will be fine. And you would write 30.8. You would write 30.8 in your data table. So I'll show you right there. The average of the black wool jackets is 30.8. Okay, so I'll write it, put it right there. So you can, now you want to put it in the simulation because I'll show you in a minute. When you get all those numbers written in, you're going to click graph, and it's automatically going to make the graph for you. And then all you have to do is transfer the graph into your scientist notebook. All right. So let me see if I can get rid of that. I wish I could minimize it, but I'm going to do that. All right. I also have for the blue, remember, I've got my calculator. I'll do this one. I want the average, 28.9 plus 29.4 plus 28, another 28.9. My equals. And now remember, I have three numbers. So I divide it by 3. And so that would be 29 point, because that's a 6, I'll round that up to a 1. So I'll put 29.1, and that is the average of my blue wool jackets. So again, 29.1, and you notice my little wool disappeared there. So 29.1, there we go. And oh, hey, there's a save there. So Miss Buck has now found the save button. Okay, well, I strongly recommend you put the save button then. Please do that. Ooh, what does open do then? I don't know, didn't do anything. Save button, I would keep it. And so you notice my other number disappeared here. I don't remember what it is. I don't remember what it was, guys. 30.7 maybe? I don't even remember. Oh, all right. That makes me happy. All right. When you get all of this information in there, every bit of it in there, you will hit graph, and it's going to generate, it will make the graph for you. And all you have to do is transfer it over. Now, let me give you a hint. If you click print, even though your Chromebooks don't print, it will give you a preview, and you will have 3 lines on here, and you'll be able to just look and transfer your lines into your scientist notebook. So that's what I would do. All right. So let me get rid of that and get rid of that. All right. So that kind of gives you the general idea there of what you're going to do. So that you'll have your question, your hypothesis that you picked. You're going to test all this, put the numbers. Remember, you've got to put the numbers in the simulation and in your scientist notebook, but you want it in the simulation. So you can just click on graph, transfer the graph in, and then the final thing that you'll do in your scientist notebook is you will look at your data, and you will be ready to write your claim evidence reasoning from that. If you forget, again, if you go back one, you'll see we just wrote all of this out in words for you, okay? And then you'll go to the simulation and click on this and hopefully be ready to do your experiment.